And I'm completely confused as to what I'm looking at now because we got.
I'd love if you looked here mainly.
Yeah, okay.
And I will track you on the live with the thing.
With the thing.
Yep.
Right, do we have any surprises for me today?
No, but there is another audience participation video that's been sent in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they actually do run their hand over it? Ah, that's cool. Where do you know where from?
America.
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 We love America.
Yeah.
Cool. Can you explain to me? Hi guys. Sorry, we're sort of like in the backlots. Can you explain to me what I'm looking at?
This is our proper recording for going up on all the socials once the episode's finished.
Yep.
This is YouTube here.
Hi YouTube.
This is Facebook here.
Facebook did well last time.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was like 7,000 people watching before it fell out.
Before it blew up. Yep.
That's amazing. Hi guys. Hi there. And then my talkers.
Your talkers.
I love the talkers. My name's Christian Langeder and I'm an equine soft tissue therapist. I specialise in treating muscular issues in performance horses. Right, so, okay, let's start. Right, so, hi, welcome to episode 17. Can you hear that, or, I don't know, we've got a fan going because it's a bit warm. Stormy but warm. I just got back from my first bike ride. What's going on? I used to race BMXs, that's how I got injured, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because when I got all busted up, I started looking for ways of fixing myself, and in the process of getting myself fixed, I developed a fascination with different types of therapies, and it occurred to me that the more subtle the therapy was, the more it seemed to help me. So I did chiropractic, physiotherapy, all the rehab stuff. I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk unaided for about 6 months. Anyway, so that was me racing BMXs, usually with my brother Heinz. And today is the first day in about 5 years that I got on a bike and mucked around. So I've been for a little ride today, muck around. I sucked. But anyway, it was good fun to get out on the bike and muck around for a bit. So episode 17, I don't know, I always wonder what he's got planned and what videos he's chosen and whatever. My week has been Chris Kelthorpe, who's a thoroughbred trainer at the very beginning. Who else did I have? Bernard Farrell, who's a trainer, the usuals, the Wendy Kellys and the Greg Durrell, Jim Mason. Hi Jim, if anyone sees Jim, please smack him for me. Who else did we have? Rory Hunter, Craig Jameson, he's a trotter. Anyway, and then a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, so that was my week. It's been busy. As I said last week, Caroline passed away, who was my PA who ran my life. I'm a bit more okay about it today. It was like the day after it happened last week. So this week I'll be going to her funeral, which is really horrible. She leaves behind 7 children. So she was 42 years old. She had a massive stroke and passed away. She ran my life for 10 years. So that's a bit of a hit, and it's a bit of a difficult thing to go through. We're back through.
We're good.
How are we looking?
We're good.
Cool.
Wonderful.
Good. Anyway, so I'm going to a funeral this week. I'll be working the first half and then going to the service on Thursday. Anyway, so that's that. We've rearranged this a little because we're still trying to, 17 episodes in, we're still trying to work out what looks good, what works better for all the different screens. The TikTokers, they can only see me in this now, right?
Correct.
So, but you'll be tilting it to that.
I'll be going to and zooming in for them.
Cool. The purpose of these videos is to break down the TikToks that I did, or break down ones that Drew finds interesting. He usually gives them a little bit of a name. He got a bit slack last week, but you know, you get that. So we break down any TikToks. We love questions, or I love questions. If you see something that is fascinating to you, or if you have something that relates, or if you have a problem, please ask questions. I want as many questions as possible. This is the whole idea, is to educate everybody on how to check their horse and how to understand soreness. I was recently, just recently, a few people had sent me Tristan Tucker videos. I'm having a look at him. Obviously an amazing guy at what he does. Really interesting. It's really interesting when I see people doing behavioural stuff and they talk about release points or anything like that. And coming from my knowledge and my background, I always kind of look at them probably differently to most people. So that's been like an intriguing part of my week as well. So anyway, if we have no questions or anything like that, Drew, or if we... No questions so far.
Great. Ready to get into
Cool, let's rip into it.
This is yearling preparation.
Yeah, cool, yeah, good. All right, we're at Two Bays Farm. This is Kendiara. We're doing Melbourne yearling prep. So this is the thing about doing yearlings. We were talking about why we treat yearlings for prep. So if we've got a horse like this, a little horse like this that's going into sale, the first thing they talk about is whether it's free moving or not. So as you can see with this one, when I go over it, the rear end is absolutely fine, but then you can see like everything through the front is sore. Now he, excuse me, he came from Perth, so it could have been during the travel, but you know, this is the thing. If you haven't had your yearlings checked over, like how do you know that you're not restricted in the front because of this stuff? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat, we're going to show you before and after. You're not really going to see much, but I'm going to treat, you'll see after we've treated, and you'll see that all this spasmy stuff is going to be gone. So, yearling prep, there you go, thanks. So, we're just finishing up with Candiara. We're just fixing up the bottom part of the neck. So again, I'm just going to reiterate, like, here's exactly why we treat them for yearling prep. So, if you had a look before and had a look now, this is definitely going to be, we got a little bit there, this is definitely going to be a horse that can use its front better, right? And so when you're parading them, and this is what you're trying to sell, a better moving front is going to definitely benefit everybody. So there we go. So, cool. Thanks, mate. Thank you. So that was Two Bays Farm. We spoke briefly about it, although I probably spoke a lot about it last week. Two Bays Farm. They are, we currently, I think the Magic Millions is done now, I'm not sure actually. So Magic Millions in Queensland, the yearling, the thoroughbred yearling sales. And I work with a lot of yearlings. We basically try to get them moving as fluidly as possible so they can sell better. It's an interesting thing working with young horses. They're really pure. They're really like, they're not, a lot of people say to me when I treat warm bloods, a lot of people say, well, they're not like the thoroughbreds. I actually find thoroughbreds the easiest horses to work with. I think because they're not messed around with, they do their job and then you just leave them alone. They're unspoiled. The yearlings are even more amazing. At Two Bays Farm, I was surprised at how quiet their yearlings were. So it made treating them really easy. I work with Musk Creek Farm. They've got a whole bunch of stuff. They're both in Flinders. I don't know if they're sold at Magic Millions. I tried to message Scott to see how they went because I've been so busy. So I don't know yet how they went, but they were taking a few up. But the whole idea of the yearling prep of treating beforehand is when they put them in the parade ring, the first thing they talk about is if they're free moving or not. If they're not free moving and you're actually trying to sell the horses for a fair amount of money, then you're probably going to restrict your price. So what happens is we fix them up. They do silly things in the paddock. They often get to play with each other and they do dumb stuff. So anyway, that's yearling prepping stuff.
Super.
You're right. You're very quiet, Drew. I'm not used to you being so quiet.
It's because you're talking. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. No questions.
Yeah.
Just lots of people joining. Hi Cole. Hi Mr. X5 Calais.
No.
Hi Hobbit, 2012. Nice. One new message. Definitely, no, nothing to answer at the moment. Are you happy to just? We're still making good times. Been 10 or 12 minutes. Are you happy to just continue on?
Absolutely, my friend.
This is one of those quiet musical treatment videos.
Yeah.
Just wondering if you, I don't know, maybe you want to talk about what you're doing, or we can just sit and watch it.
Yeah. This is Black Pen. Yeah. This is Black Pen. He's one of my favourites at the moment. He's like not really cuddly to everyone else, but cuddly with me, which is nice. And so he just had mid-back, medial glute, which is the bum, and also biceps femoris, which is Drew's favourite muscle.
Bye, Fem.
Anyway. So there are a few different ways I treat. I either treat by cripping muscles out with my fingers, or what I'm doing there is there's a muscle that goes all the way along the back of the horse. Actually, here's one I prepared earlier. I think it's this one. So right now I'm rolling my fingers through medial glute, but before I was rolling my thumb over 8B, which is longest it's full.
Sorry, say that again? Yep.
So these are the two muscles that I'm treating in there mostly, and now I'll go over to the biceps femoris, which is where that poverty line is. But this is much easier, I can actually point to. But the muscle here, I was rolling my thumb over it and holding the muscle in traction. That's one of the ways that I trip out the muscles. And then right now I'm doing the one that everyone knows or everyone sees, which looks like magic, which is just basically touching it. So now you can see the before and after, and he's not dipping at all. Pretty much 3 muscles were involved there. Didn't take long to fix it all. He's such a sweetheart. I'm not sure when he's racing next, but he's definitely in work and racing. We have a few people racing today. We've got Greg Urell, who's got a horse in today at Flemington, and we also got David Feith, who's got a couple. I think that's all I saw that is racing today at Flemington. We're also at Warrnambool. So I haven't had a chance to have a look at who's running at Warrnambool. Oh, you know what? There's another thing. I just put it. Received a call from Amir at Woodside Stud the other day. They have Rich Enough there, which is who stands there. They've got quite a few. I think 5 stallions. I'll be going and treating the stallions after the breeding season is over. Which is as soon as possible. The interesting thing about Rich Enough is I actually treated Rich Enough as a written tycoon son. I treated Rich Enough for the Keys family while he was racing, and so it's actually a really interesting thing. I went and treated him before the breeding season. It was really weird actually having seen the horse all the way through his racing career and then going back there and treating him as a stallion. It was kind of like a weird full circle kind of thing. So we'll be going back there. They've got a bunch of, they got those 5 stallions there. So it's interesting that like treating, predominantly I do racing, dressage, polo, also yearling prep, which is happening at the moment, and then we'll be doing stallions that are breeding stallions. And feel free to ask any questions about any of their horses or what we do or how we do it or anything like that.
No questions still so far?
Come on, guys, give us some questions. It's much easier when we have interaction. Isn't it funny that like everyone's quite quiet and then all of a sudden, like at the very end, we get like hammered by questions. Feel free to hammer us at any point.
Here we go, Heinz Lang. Did Rich Enough feel different when comparing racing to stud work?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you get anytime. First question for the day. Oh,
From the studio
audience. Anytime, all the sports have different patterns. We do a polo is brutal as so far as the pattern is concerned. Racing necks and hamstrings, dressage, bum, neck, collection stuff. obviously, breeding is breeding. They definitely do get lower back issues. They get bum issues. They get it's actually it's more involved physically than you would think for the mare and for the stallion. So definitely they do get lower back stuff. But it'll be interesting to see all 5 of them all at once, and we'll see what if there's actually like a pattern at Woodside. We shall see. Anywho. Alright. That's about that, Drew.
That's still it for the moment.
Is it?
Yeah. We're still live on everywhere.
Yep.
And I see you're starting to use some textas in these next videos.
No, well, they're older ones, but we were talking about like showing different things, and I just wanted to show the chalk texters. If you go to, here's the first plug for my website. If you go to my website and you sign up for this, these videos, actually I could probably just show some of this. These videos, can we see this? Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't know how this is going to work. This is one of the videos, but you show. I don't know if it's going to. Sorry, this is. I'm just going to try this. I don't know where the volume is. There it is. Alright, so the next one is the point of the right one. Put the pelvis. Is that moving?
You need to aim it right at the bottom of the TV.
This side and that side?
Yep, that's it.
That's fine, right? So what you'll see is, so that's fine. But what happens is, there's an attachment. This is actually on my website. Few different areas and that we I use texters in all my videos on the website, so I can actually explain things properly. So if you like the texter idea, get onto my website, sign up. If we have a look at the back muscle, so we're getting into what I call my kangaroo blocks. This particular back muscle goes something like this. So this is longissimus, this is your main back muscle. And the medial glute, that's the bottom muscle, the main bum muscle, kind of feeds in like that. We call that the gluteal tongue. So we ignore that right now, but when you're running your hand, again, like an inch or so, if you get a dip, we've got 3 dips that we're going to look at in quick succession. So the first dip will be this point here, the next one will be this point, and the third one will be, so there's 3 points there. The first one that you get to, so if we've got, I'm going to get a bit messy now, but if we've got the point for lat through here, and then we've got SHEILA'S, this is why this is a kangaroo box, because there's so much going on. And then we've got the next one, relates to this muscle here that attaches to the pelvis. So it's where the back muscle attaches to the pelvis. If you have a dip there, your confirmation point, or the point that you check to make sure you know it's the pelvis as opposed to anything else, is right where the muscle attaches to the pelvis. So all I do is, if I'm running my hand along here and it dips here, then I actually roll my Never learned with animals with children. So I just roll right on the top of that pelvis. Yeah. So that one there will tell me if she's responsive or really buckled. That will tell me that the reaction here is related to the pelvis. So here we go. So obviously we've got a few considerations. Any of this back stuff, like I said, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to realise that it's sort of like you're taking away what the other problems could be. So we have a dip here. We need to know, firstly, if we confirm it here. Secondly, what are the considerations? So obviously, one of the considerations is the medial glute, which you would check through here. Have a look at the medial glute one. The other one is longissimus, same muscle, but it attaches up in the back. So it could be pelvic longissimus, medial glute, or the back muscle. That's if it's muscular. The other considerations are the rear of the saddle, saddle rug, kissing spine, hindgut acidosis, fractured pelvis. Anyway, you get the idea. So what happens is, if you like the chalk idea and you like all the things that I was doing this week with the chalk textures, they are on my website. I always use chalk on the website just to explain things properly. Have it in the TikToks, but that's the point of difference, right? You get a lot more in-depth stuff in the on my website. So there you go. That was that.
That was cool.
Is that right?
Get to see a bit about the website. You happy to continue on?
Yeah, sure, mate.
Is it the saddle?
Don't know.
That's damn sure not the pole.
All right, we don't know how this is going to go. This is Felicity. We're at Hamilton Dressage. I wanted to show you saddle soreness. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I know nothing about fitting saddles, so don't ask me any questions, but I do know how to determine saddle soreness from muscular soreness. This might be a little bit long, and we're going to use chalk textures, so just bear with me, right? So, what I noticed with Felicity is when I run over her, she's got this dip. Now, I've treated her. I know it's not muscular. The two things, I'm going to do muscles in blue. The two muscles that I'm looking at are trapezius, that kind of goes through like this, and I'm also looking at lat, which kind of goes something like that. Anyway, so that's the lat, the pulling muscle. This one moves the shoulders. Now, these aren't sore. If I check the actual muscles, I'm not getting a reaction. I will here because that's where the saddle's pushing, but where the attachment is, I'm not getting any pressure. But where I am getting pressure is, this is the shoulder blade, or thereabouts, right? So that's the scapula. And the back of the saddle is about here. So what I'm getting is I'm getting pressure on the shoulder. So I know the difference between saddle and muscle because if I check the muscle, I don't have any soreness, I don't have a reaction. If I put pressure on the shoulder blade, then I do. Now, that looks pretty far forward for the way the saddle is, but when she moves, that shoulder blade rocks back and jams under the saddle if the saddle doesn't fit properly. The other place that I've got is the back. Now, from all this, all I'm suspecting is saddle's moving forward and the back is just shifting from side to side. So she does dressage, so it's not unusual for that to happen. The saddle needs looking at. I can't fix this. There's a lot going on there, but it should be a simple fix because once you've actually fixed the saddle up, these aren't permanent things. They're just bruises or it's just sensitive skin, right? Because you've got connective tissue under here, and if the saddle moves over it, it's kind of like carpet burn. It just pisses it off. So this is how you check whether you've got saddle soreness or muscles.
So, with that one, what we got is like often with my website, understanding all this stuff, it's often a case of diagnosis by omission. So you're checking that things aren't the problem. So what happens is if you've got a saddle thing, you obviously want to make sure that the trapezius is fine, you want to make sure that the lats are fine, you want to make sure that longissimus is fine. If those are all fine, then you want to be able to check the two types of saddle soreness. One will be pressure and bruising, the other one will be friction. Both of those mostly show up, well the pressure in the wither shows up as a pressure soreness on the scapula or on the shoulder blade, but most of it will show up in the superficial fascia or the connective tissue just under the skin. That's why often to see if it's actually the saddle, I'll really lightly scratch the skin, and if the connective tissue is annoyed, then they're going to dip by light scratching. But if you be still and you actually push into the muscle, you're not going to have a reaction. So determining whether it's muscle, determining whether it's saddle, and then figuring out what type of saddle soreness you got, and then contacting your saddle fitter because I don't know anything about saddles.
Mills on the TikToks. Mills, thank you so much
Hey, Mills.
for all the liking, the lives. Also, shout out to Dicko, who's smashing the likes. I think we're going to owe Mills and Dicko a new thumb in the mail. Really appreciate it, guys. Thanks to Heinz as well. Royal, thanks for joining us. Mills is millsing it up. Abigail says, love that video, love the whole marker thing. Really helpful, mate. Helps me understand it better.
Yeah, and like I said, the thing about the marker thing, it's all the videos, each one of these things has videos with them on my website. All of those have two videos. They have one with markers where I show you exactly how to check it, and then they have another video which actually shows you what it looks like when it's reactive or dysfunctional. So you get the two videos, you get all the written content, you get an anatomical diagram, and I like the chalk videos. I'm probably not going to be doing too many of them on TikTok because they're on my website, so go to my website.
Sarah, hi, thanks for joining us. Alright, we're still no questions, but that's all good. That's all right. Very informative. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who's joined and who's hitting those likes. Very much appreciated. Where are we at? 25? Anything else you want to add about the saddle?
The saddle thing.
Saddle
Yeah,
stuff?
you know, as I said, I'm very good at sticking in my lane, knowing when I'm very good at, and I spoke last week. It kind of got messed up when I watched it back on YouTube, but how, you know, one of the ways of, if this is your business, like I'm talking to people who want to do this as a job now, is knowing when you're going to be useful and knowing when to refer on to another specialist. I'm a specialist, I like specialists. Refer on to other people, refer on to good vets, onto saddle fitters, onto dentists, onto farriers, refer on to the people that know their stuff. I don't try to know everything, I just know when I'm going to be referring on to people that know what they're going to do. But I also definitely know if it's my bag and if I'm going to fix it.
Just a few people to say hi to on Facebook. Sandy Tyres is watching.
Yes.
We also have Jenny Hopkins, who says, love the site, love these videos.
Oh, thank you. That's how cool is that?
Brenda Marie is watching. Nanette Nicholas. Joe Hapland. Thank you, all the Facebook peoples.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have nothing
It's
else.
kind of weird seeing all the cameras and Drew sort of like hiding.
Yeah, so bear with us, everyone. It's just going to get better each week.
Yeah.
And always remember, anyone who, if the lives go out or if it's you know, jiggly and not that flash, normally Sunday, the full edited video will be up on YouTube, so you can jump over there and hear anything you missed out on, and yeah, send us messages, comments, whatever.
Another texter video.
Another texter video. I'll just get our TikTokers zoomed in here and.
We're right. Alright, we're with Gordon. Gordon is such a sweet dog. This is Stacey's horse. We're at Jeravan. And I was just talking to her about when you're girthing up a horse and if it's girthy, what your considerations are. Now, there's going to be all these different videos that you're going to probably have to check from this. We've got chalk texters. So often if you go to girth up a horse, now the first obvious thing is that you don't have the girth is horrible. But secondly, that we're going to do a few different colours, right? Secondly, if you're putting pressure on from the saddle, so if you've got a problem of the saddle or the shoulder blade, which is the scapula, if you've got pressure, like actual saddle soreness pressure, then that's going to indicate from girthiness as well, so to speak. So if you're pulling and the saddle is pulling down, you're going to get a reaction. But now, here are the muscles that you've got to keep in mind. So if you've got again, girthy horse, thoracic trapezius is one. You've got that, which is your pulling muscle, which is another, and you can see all these go through here. Then you've got teres, which is kind of there. You've got tricep, which is this one here, and then you've got deep pec. Yeah, so all those, again, you've got the girth coming through here. If any of these muscles are sore, you're going to get a reaction. The other one, obviously, is gut. So they feel gut about there. So you can start seeing that like girthiness isn't as simple as girthiness. So if you have a girthy horse, just check these. Don't worry so much about this right now, but so far as muscles are concerned, check this, check these, check this, and also like for gut, you're looking at the elbow and you're looking at the second rib space in and just pushing there. Now he has none of that, but we were just talking about it, so I thought I'd do a video on it. Anyway. For some reason right now in Australia, we've got kind of this really, in Melbourne, we've got this really tropical, wet sort of weather. What's happening is I'm finding a lot of hindgut issues. So basically what happens is the hindgut gets acidic. It can either be, if I relate to a vet by the name of Jörg Yandras, he's out at Werribee, quarantine centre. He's opened up a few guts, and not hind guts, and I've seen it as I've been there with him. Bot flies leave lesions in the gut, and then what happens is if you worm the horse and then all of a sudden you get all these lesions in the gut, the naturally occurring acid is going to burn those lesions. What's happening at the moment is when that happens, often people will say, I've had a really beautiful horse, he's been really nice to ride, all of a sudden he wants to get me off. I say it could, it's either the mares or, yeah, it's true. Either the gelding or whoever, but mares can also have
ovary issues. So it's a little bit more difficult, but I always go for the most non-invasive thing first, which is usually the gut. So if I hear that, oh, it's been really nice, and I had probably about 4 of them this week. Horse was nice, but all of a sudden they're trying to just like buck me off. Usually it's always hindgut. In those 4 instances, the hindgut palpated as being hyperreactive, and so we just put them on Equush, or we just alkalize the gut. The lesions heal. But it can also happen because of this weather and the grasses, probably a lot of sugar in the grasses at the moment can also do it. So again, with all the different gut stuff, hindgut, gut ulcers, I don't know, I mean, it's kind of around 6, just around this part here, there's a point that you push, or that I do. There will be videos on TikTok for you to have a look at it. Also, you can go to the website and have the whole thing. But yeah, that's just showing the difference between when you're cinching up, very commonly gut, very commonly sore muscles. So again, determining whether it's a gut, a muscle, or the saddle is really helpful.
Guys, still get the questions in. We're going to do one more video and then we're approaching time. Pucci, someone called Pucci says, hi there, how do you know it's not the pole?
Oh, well you should know. Anyway, hi Pucci, hi wifey. It just is never the pole. You know what? I've got an amazing affiliation with this with a chiropractor in the States, Mike. He often adjusts the pole. So the interesting part about that is when he adjusts the pole, he puts his, and I don't because I'm a soft tissue therapist, not a chiropractor. He's an incredible chiropractor. What he does is he puts the horse's head on his shoulder, he clasps it behind the horse's neck, and he pulls it. He gets it, the thing that we hear, he gets the gas release or the pop. The horse shows what they call a release, with the licking and chewing, etc., etc. The interesting part about that is I have an opinion of what chiropractic is as opposed to soft tissue therapy. He's definitely releasing gas. He's definitely freeing up the thing. He's an incredible chiropractor because he teaches people how to stretch horses. He's got a website on how to stretch horses. When you see when he goes to stretch the horse, he actually stretches all the parts that I say are the problem. These are the parts that I treat under here, the TMJ, the hyoid, and also C2. When he stretches them, he puts the horse's head on his shoulders and he actually gets them to stretch. So what they're stretching is they're stretching all under here. It's not up here. This is where they become unstable. I understand that that's where the gas builds up, and when you pop it, it frees up the head. Absolutely. But it's not where the muscular problem is. So it's never up here. It's always the hyoid, TMJ, or C2 usually. I just like that when I was watching his stuff. I like that when I saw his stretches, he was stretching the muscles that I usually treat. But when he treats it, he definitely treats the pole. I just go for the actual treatment part.
Mills, who has been liking, says,
yes, Mills.
Love your work, Christian. You have treated a few of my horses.
Where? I'd love to. Sorry, Mills, I'd love to know where.
If you're comfortable, Mills, give us a bit more reference other than your online name, and I'm sure Christian will
I'd love to
know who he's talking to.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We can do that. The whole Pucci.
So the final video for today is we have another, and I really appreciate people sending these in, another email and attached video from a viewer. So we're doing our audience interaction. Again, that email address is the Langeder Equine Show @gmail.com. Christian would like to see videos of you treating.
Or just checking. These are the things. Like, we don't know how this is going to go, but it's worth looking at. I mean, they're worth playing around with. And if you've got little questions like this is cool because it means I can actually show you little ways of checking your own horse.
I don't know if you can read the email.
I can't read the email because I've got like old man eyes.
Hi Christian. First of all, so this is from Sheila Contreras.
Yeah.
Hope I'm pronouncing Sheila's surname correctly. Hi Christian, first of all, very best wishes regarding your colleague Caroline.
Yes.
Thank you for that. I think this came prior to the badder news. I'm attaching a video of me trying to work on my horse's chest. I hope you can access it. I would love to hear your opinions on Canella, I think the horse is called.
Yep.
I think she's just saying. Oh, she's
saying I'm
purchasing
your the membership.
Yep.
Your resources are amazing. You're so kind to them, and kind to share them with us. Happy New Year, Sheila. So I was going to give a pseudonym because Australians think my name is hilarious. But
Sheila.
But I let them anyway. So
But she went with her real
Sheila.
name.
Okay, so she went for Sheila. Sheila.
Sheila.
We're not that Australian.
Nah.
No. We are near We're in deep South Frankston, but we're not that Australian.
Here is her video.
Oh, let's watch it. This is cool.
I don't know how loud this will be, so I will adjust.
This is Canella,
I like
foundation bred American quarter horse, and she's a sweetheart, except when you get down here. So I'm not even touching her, and she gets a really strong reaction, and this is typical. She is especially sensitive when I think it's her deep pec between her legs.
The home button.
Yes, she doesn't like that, and I didn't even touch her. And this is persistent.
It's alright.
So yes, and I remember to try the below, what is it, C2?
C2, yeah.
C1, I got a blink there. I see here. So anywhere on her chest, she is sensitive, and it does seem especially in where that ligament or that attachment is, right in the middle. She has an old injury where she had stitches on her right side. Not much of a response here. Well, she's looking at something there, or here. So I can get her to. Oh, well, look how she's now.
You fixed it. Sheila, you fixed it. Look at that.
She's being distracted by something.
Rolling over the bone. Oh, and it does feel like it's softening. Yeah, it's softening. And she's distracted, so she's letting me do it. That's what I'm guessing. Have to watch.
So she was saying it felt ropey and tight, and then it was releasing as she plays.
I know, it's amazing how you don't really need to do that much to make the muscle release.
The sensitivity seems to be. Sorry.
Descending pec.
It's all right. So I just lessen up on the pressure there, but I keep my hand there just barely touching, just because it seems like that's what I should do. But I can feel it kind of ropey under there a little bit. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, like a ropey feeling or a knot.
I love this. This is cool. This is good. I like it.
So anyway, she always has this sensitivity all the time, and I remembered what she said about not bullying the horse, so I don't want to work on it too much.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's, I guess, chronic, and she is on anti-inflammatories right now. She tends to be tight in her front end. She's built downhill. She's a quarter horse. She's built more downhill than horses you're used to. And she had a lot of stiffness. She had some dental work done. There's probably some TMJ stuff going on. So she just had a lot of dental work, which seems to have helped as well. But this, her chest, either that deep pec, or
descending pec.
But actually she, so see,
there she is.
and then sometimes too, like the trainer will say, oh, she's, just kind of giving you a hard time reacting, which I don't discount. I think can be true. But even if I get her to be more, it's never quite gone. Oh, that's good though, huh? It's never quite gone. And with that, and does come back. I think that was a good release.
Mm.
Okay, well, I'll leave that.
That's cool. That's really good. Love this video for a whole bunch of reasons. Look.
Alright.
So, firstly, what Sheila has got, she has got a problem with. Why am I doing it there? She's got a problem with brachiocephalicus where it attaches into the sternum. That's this bit here. So she was tender through there. She was definitely tender at C2, and then the descending pec. So all you needed to do was massage that, which is what you were doing. I'm also going to point out the elephant in the room. She's a chestnut mare, right? And so we know that she's going to be grumpy because they are. Drew's looking a little like,
Racist.
What are you talking about? Horse racism.
And sexist.
Horse racism.
Horse racism.
She is, for all my Ranger friends out there, she is a grumpy Ranger. So she's a chestnut mare. We know that they can be a problem. We know that they can, but we're still going to. You said that she had stitches there. They could be a nerve thing. There could be muscular spasms, in which case you might need some magnesium. But it's definitely the descending pec, not the deep pec, which is under here more, but the big pec muscle. Treat that. Treat where the brachiocephalicus goes into the sternum. You need to treat there, and you need to. I keep on going to move the screen here. We need one of those so I can do this. Kristen means technology. And then C2. They were her the most common things. You could see that she actually did really chill out. You could see, for those people who look for releases, obviously she gave us a few really lovely releases after you'd been treating or after you were just messing around. Yeah, don't bully, because the thing is, you don't realise, you didn't look like you were doing too much, but you could tell by the horse and you could tell by your fingers that you're actually achieving quite a bit. I think you're in the right spot. I think that they're the areas that you can treat. You can also use things like creams, DMSO, even like Voltaren, like we use on ourselves, etc., for those sorts of soreness. But I think that you are in exactly the right spot. I think that that's the muscle that you should be treating, concentrating on. Might take a little bit, maybe a little bit of magnesium, but I think you're on the right track, and I think you've got exactly where the thing is. I love when the other thing I was going to point out, when you're checking, this is for everybody, when you're checking through the neck, don't do this. Like I see a lot of people like kind of just grabbing and squashing it. What I want you to do, get used to, is roll across the fibre on the muscle. Just roll it, flick it over, and you'll see if it's not sore, the muscle will be really soft. You mentioned about it, Sheila, you mentioned about it being ropey. If you roll over a ropey muscle that's in spasm, they will give you an involuntary spasm, and then you know that that's the problem. If it's fine and if it's soft, when you roll over it cross fibre and just like roll over the whole thing, you're not going to get a reaction. A lot of people say that, if I did that to any horse, they're going to react, in a painful manner. They don't. So instead of squeezing the muscles, like on the back or here, roll across the fibres. Think about which way the muscles go, roll across them. When you're doing the whole back, you just use a corner of your finger and you just go over the whole part of the horse. I'm going to do this for a second. There is a video on my site which is free. It's this one. Go to that. It shows you how to go over your horse. It shows you how to check it, and then you'll be able to see which little twitches you got, etc. And then they will correspond to my my graph with the horses and all the pulsing numbers.
Thanks so much, Sheila, and anyone else
That was
who
really
wants to
cool.
put that in. Our executive producer just got in my ear to point out that what was really great about Sheila's video is she's obviously purchased a subscription to the thing, so she was able to use your points of diagnosis and speak the same language as you are. So if people are wanting to interact, that's another great reason to get onto the website.
We can talk
small
the same
amount of money,
language.
yeah. So that we can talk the same language. Then, if you want to send in videos or make comments or anything like that, you're on the same page as Christian is, using the same reference.
How cool is that?
Yes, absolutely. How cool is that? Thank you, Sheila, for actually sending it. For the other Americans who don't understand what the Sheila thing is, it is a slang term for any woman in Australia. So the ocarism is that a Sheila is a woman. So that's why Sheila was going to use a pseudonym. We're glad you didn't. But that was cool. I liked it. I love that sort of stuff. If anyone else wants to send those, please do. Obviously, Sheila has gotten onto my website and she's using the same points that I'm talking about. Makes it so much easier for me to actually explain to her things back that she's doing right or doing wrong, or which muscle she should be looking at, or what her considerations are. Because now if I say to her, oh, the other point, is, Sheila, if you have a look at my videos as well, and I open up the shoulder, you were kind of messing around with the shoulder a little bit, and I don't mean that in a horrible, you were playing with it a little bit. That whole shoulder opens up, and that shoulder muscle could be glued to the neck. So you can actually, like, I'm not sure if I have one in my actual, in the website, but you can actually open that whole shoulder up. It opens up, I tell you what, I will do a TikTok this week showing you how to open that shoulder up and how to make sure that it's not the shoulder stuck to the neck, because we know we need a free moving neck. That could also be your thing. You have your fingers just inside it, you can like fully pull that muscle open, which I think is awesome. I will definitely do a video to show that this week.
Amazing.
How are we, Drew?
Look, we're over 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We're approaching the hour, and I've given you everything that I've got.
Cool.
So unless you've got anything to say, you can.
No, we can wrap up, I guess.
Make your closing remarks.
Any closing?
Anyone have closing remarks on the internet?
So if you guys, anyone has a question or a last comment or anything like that, I'll finish up and you can ask away. The videos were good. That was cool. I like that. That's pretty groovy. I think Sheila's on. Finishing up points. Obviously the textas, the chalk textas are on my website. Have a look at those. Go to my website. Sheila, thank you for sending your thing. That was really cool. I loved it. So if anyone else has a horsey issue and you can do that, we'd love to have a look at it. I don't know how many we can, we can only do one each time because it'll get too crazy. But so we'll choose one. If you have one, send it, please. It'd be pretty cool to look at, and we'll see. We'll see how they go. Aside from that, what's happening, Drew? What are you doing on the weekend? Going to dinner with some really nice people. Lunch.
Yeah, you.
Lunch, yeah. We're going to Montalto Winery for lunch tomorrow.
Should we tag them in this and see if they give us something?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Apart from the absolutely amazing food that they always do.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Pucci and I got married at Montalto, and the food was amazing, and so we're just going to go there and chill out, have a lunch. All right, aside from that, that was number 17. I hope it's helpful.
Anyone watching on the peninsula, if you want to know where Christian's going to be, at 2 o'clock tomorrow, you can run after him on Montalto, see if you can get an autograph hat. He'll have one in the car.
See if you can book the table next door.
Yeah, see if you can book the table.
I tell you what, I was at I like when it's conversational. I was at Red Gub Run yesterday, and I was treating one of the horses, and there was a young girl there staring at me. And she's like, oh my God, you're the TikTok guy, which is always so cute and cool to have happen, because you can see they're like, oh. So it's really funny that you're like on computer stuff and people think you're like, somebody.
Well, you're somebody.
Or the trainer holding the horse.
I don't know, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was number 17. Thank you. We Chalk Texters videos. Videos are good. Bring more videos. We'd love more questions. I like when Drew and I banter, and I like when we're talking to people on the internet. So you've got a chance with all this stuff to actually have a chat with me. I'm always up for a chat. So anytime you guys who are watching, feel free to shoot us questions. You can poke fun of it at us. You can do whatever you want, and we respond really well to that sort of stuff. So that was number 17. Thank you very much. I hope it was helpful. And go to my website, check it out. Is that about it, Drew?
That's it.
Right. Thanks, mate.
Good
Thanks,
night.
guys. See you later. Thank you.